Cleared. Whoa, hey, Jesus. Mom!
Every single day, cameras are rolling in homes, schools, hotels and streets, capturing ordinary moments. But sometimes they catch something that nobody expected. Today, we're looking at the 10 most disturbing clips ever recorded. Real footage from real people who came face to face with something beyond the ordinary. These are not stories from ancient legends or distant history. These happened recently, caught on camera, witnessed by people just like you and me. What you are about to see will make you question everything you thought you knew about the world around you. Let's get into it. A CCTV camera captured a hotel security guard named John responding to a distress call after reports of shouting coming from a room that had not been checked into.
John, do you copy? It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now.
As John walked down the hallway, he could hear shouting coming from the room, even though it appeared unoccupied. The unsettling part was that no guest was registered there, and the corridor seemed completely empty.
What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there.
When John reached the door and opened it, something shocking occurred. A strange, translucent figure suddenly rushed past him and disappeared into the hallway. Startled, John stepped inside to investigate, but there was no one there. The room was completely empty, yet it showed clear signs of disturbance. Items scattered, furniture disrupted, and the shower left running.
I would wait for the police, John. Amy, John's gonna enter the room real quick, just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one.
At first, the incident seemed unbelievable. However, when the footage was reviewed, the images appeared clear and consistent, making the encounter all the more difficult to explain. Whatever John encountered that night remains a mystery, but it was really scary. At exactly 1 a.m., a woman named Mikhail was suddenly awakened by unsettling sounds coming from outside her door. A woman's voice shouting in distress. Terrified and unsure of what to do, Mikhail hesitated and couldn't bring herself to open the door. Two days later, at the same time, the strange sounds returned. This time, they were louder and accompanied by heavy banging on her door. Gathering her courage, Mikhail decided she couldn't ignore it any longer. She slowly approached the door and, despite her fear, chose to open it. What she saw was deeply disturbing. A creepy, witch-like woman with long black hair crouched right in front of her in a strange, animal-like posture. The figure's presence was both eerie and overwhelming, leaving Mikhail frozen in shock. Instinctively, she slammed the door shut and immediately called the authorities. However, when help arrived and they inspected the area, there was no sign of anyone. No footprints, no evidence, nothing at all to explain what she had seen. This woman's reaction shows us what happens when fear and the unexplained collide, leaving behind questions that have no clear answers. On January 26, 2020, a camera mounted on the property of a woman living in Alabama captured a strange figure lurking in the woods. The figure appears human-shaped.
Not there. What the h***?
Crawling along the ground. After a few moments, it slowly stood upright. And what the camera captured was something that defied easy description. It's a skeletal being with barely a trace of flesh on its frame. It then began moving back toward the tree line, carrying with it an atmosphere that was deeply unsettling.
Where's the dog? Well, you better go now.
To this day, nobody knows what it was. But one thing is certain, whether it was a ghost or something else entirely, whatever that thing is, it is still out there in those woods. A CCTV camera captured a terrifying moment when a woman walked into her kitchen and immediately realized something was wrong. Objects around her began moving on their own, and even the cooker appeared to turn on as if controlled by an unseen force.
Calma, gente. É só não ter medo. É só não ter medo. É só não ter medo. Só não ter medo. Vale-me, Nossa Senhora.
You could see the fear in her eyes as she froze, trying to understand what was happening. This wasn't just a quick or harmless incident. The activity continued, making it clear something was controlling the space. And whatever that was, it really shook the entire environment that night. A man began to suspect that something was lurking in his basement, so he decided to investigate with his partner. As they made their way downstairs, the atmosphere already felt tense. Then, out of nowhere, they were struck by the sight of a strange woman silently passing by. The moment was so brief and unsettling that they questioned whether their eyes were playing tricks on them. It wasn't imagination. A dark figure could clearly be seen walking behind them, confirming their fears.
You didn't get that on camera?
It freaked me out so much when you did that.
Bro, someone...
They were unwilling to stay any longer, because if that really was a ghost, they wanted no part of it. During heavy traffic on a busy road, something strange was caught on camera. A ghostly figure was seen walking calmly through the cars, as if it didn't exist in the same physical space. Drivers and onlookers were left confused and unsettled. The figure moved clearly between vehicles, unaffected by noise, lights, or people. It simply passed through. At first, many thought it was a trick of the light or a camera glitch. However, when the footage was checked again 13 hours later, the figure was still there. This ruled out any temporary distortion, leaving behind a chilling mystery that no one could easily explain. In a quiet graveyard, a CCTV camera was installed after repeated reports of strange noises echoing through the area at night. Locals had long been unsettled by the unexplained sounds, prompting the decision to monitor the grounds after dark. On one particular night, the footage captured something truly unusual. A group of white, translucent figures appeared within the cemetery, moving in an eerie and unnatural way. They seemed to be jumping or bouncing across the ground, their forms faint yet clearly visible against the darkness. The way they moved didn't resemble anything ordinary, making the sight even more disturbing. There were no clear features, no solid shapes, just pale, ghost-like figures shifting through the graveyard. What exactly was captured remains unknown, but the footage only deepened the mystery surrounding the strange nighttime disturbances in that place. A CCTV camera inside a couple's home captured the moment they were encouraging their young child, who was learning to stand on his own. Then, out of nowhere, something took hold of the child, and what happened next was deeply disturbing. Even the family dog was visibly startled by what it witnessed.
What's that?
Oh my God!
The parents' reaction in that moment is a raw reminder of just how differently people respond when pure fear takes over. A CCTV camera captured a woman tending to her child in the early hours of the morning, when suddenly, something pulled at her with a force she had no way of resisting. Whatever it was, it seemed determined to ensure she would not have a peaceful night. But what followed next was something beyond anyone's imagination. Whether it was a ghost or something beyond the reach of human perception, that scene was terrifying. Late at night inside a quiet school, a CCTV camera captured a chilling and unexplained sequence of events. The hallway appeared completely empty, with no movement or sign of anyone nearby. Then suddenly, a door at the far end slowly creaked open, only to slam shut moments later, all on its own. There was no visible cause, no person, nothing to explain what triggered it. As unsettling as that moment was, it only marked the beginning. Not long after, the lockers lining the hallway began to shake violently. The metal doors rattled as if someone was forcefully hitting them from the inside. Yet the camera showed nothing. No figure, no movement, just the lockers trembling on their own. Then things escalated even further. Out of nowhere, books suddenly flew off nearby surfaces, flipping and scattering across the floor. It was as if an invisible presence was moving through space, disturbing everything in its path. But the most shocking moment came shortly after. A table, sitting still moments before, was suddenly shoved over with force, crashing onto the ground. The impact was loud and undeniable, yet once again, nothing could be seen causing it. Nothing was visible, but the effects were clear. Whatever force moved through that school left behind a terrifying encounter, one that continues to raise questions with no clear answers. This eerie CCTV clip shows a quiet museum exhibit hall late at night. Glass display cases and artifacts sit in dim emergency lighting, while the building remains completely still. Instantly, you don't feel something different till you focus. There is a ghostly figure moving around, observing paintings. A pale, semi-transparent humanoid figure slowly moves from display to display on the left side of the frame. Tall and misty, with no visible facial features, it glides smoothly, as if floating. The figure briefly pauses near the center, almost as if observing a painting, before fading into darkness, leaving the museum silent and empty once again. The investigation begins inside the historic Double Eagle restaurant, a centuries-old building standing near the quiet streets of Mesilla. Known for its violent past and its connection to a nearby historic jail, the restaurant has long been rumored to host strange paranormal activity. As the team begins their lockdown, the atmosphere already feels heavy and tense. Then suddenly, something shocking happens. A plastic tabletop sign sitting on a nearby table across a window begins to wobble on its own before tipping over and crashing to the floor. No one is near it, and there is no wind.
Oh my God. What? What? Come here. Go up here. Wait, stop. What? What did you see? I just saw something move. Something fell. Oh, it's like, what the?
Reviewing the footage confirms what they saw. The sign actually lifts slightly before falling. The investigators immediately try to provoke whatever moved it, challenging the unseen force to do it again.
That was amazing. Can you please do that again for us? And I'll catch it.
Moments later, something makes a sound behind them. Soon after, more strange activity follows.
Who did this?
That was so incredible. I can't believe that. I can't believe you captured it. It's so cool. Oh my God.
What was that?
I don't know. Something, the hair is standing on the back. I can't even talk right now. That came from like 20 feet over there.
An electromagnetic meter spikes violently, while a cold gust rushes through the room, sending chills down their spines. Zach suddenly feels something pass through his body, pushing him backward as the hair on his neck stands straight up. Nearby objects appear disturbed. A fork sits halfway off a table, and small items shift as if nudged by invisible hands. With objects moving and energy spikes responding to their presence, investigators begin to suspect something intelligent may be interacting with them. This chilling clip from a Sam and Colby investigation at the infamous new Conjuring House captures what many fans believe is a missed apparition during their month series. The footage places viewers inside a pitch-black attic filled with dusty beams and cramped shadows, where every movement feels tense. As the investigator moves carefully with a flashlight, he admits he can barely see and asks whatever might be present not to harm him.
I really can't see, guys. This is terrifying. Please do not hurt or harm me.
While attempting spirit communication, a faint EVP repeatedly responds with the word barn.
I'm on the other side of the attic. Is there a message you want to send to me?
Barn.
Barn? This is your chance. If you're up here, give me a sign.
Can you give us a name to contact with the spirit board?
Is there a name that we can use to contact the spirit? We want to be safe, but we also want answers.
But the most unsettling moment happens quietly in the background. Deep in the shadows, viewers claim a vague humanoid shape appears to be sitting on a sofa or object, watching the entire exchange. It never moves, yet its presence feels strangely deliberate.
Can you give us a name to contact with the spirit board?
Is there a name that we can use to contact the spirit?
There's no jump scare or dramatic reveal, just a subtle shape many didn't notice at first. Some say it's attic clutter or pareidolia. Others believe the investigators unknowingly walked past a real entity hiding in plain sight. So, what do you think? Which of these moments scared you the most? And do you believe that ghosts really exist? Let's hear from you in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe because it only gets better from this point.